I'm Paul Pion, an '83 grad of the vet school. I came here expecting to go into dairy practice with a mixture of some avian practice. People say I went to vet school, my mother does. Penance for my bird Swifty that I killed in 6th grade when I burned down my room. Oh. And actually I was somebody who wasn't always going to be a veterinarian. I didn't decide till very, very late. Okay. And but the time at Cornell was great. It was the days of Dr. Delahunty and Dr. Evans still around, and things looked a lot different then, and were a lot smaller. And we had a great time. I wasn't a star student, and grade-wise, but I was a big believer in trying to figure out why you learn what you learn. Spent a lot of time in rounds. Some people said I spent too much time water skiing and not enough time in class, but Lake Cayuga was a great recreational area. I always had a strong background in cardiac physiology, and it was a lecture in 2nd year by Gary Bolton, who unfortunately died during our 2nd, 3rd year, that really pushed me towards, and with influence from Joel Edwards, who came in to help teach the class after Gary died, that cardiology is the direction I wanted to go, and heading off towards an internship at the Animal Medical Center. But I think it was just the biggest challenge was trying to figure out how to become a good veterinarian while figuring out what was important and what wasn't. I mean, I always say I've never had a job in my life. I always believe people say I work too much, but I always think I'm always working, I'm always playing. After leaving school, I went to AMC for my internship, and then I did a year of research at Columbia as a postdoc, and I supported myself that year by doing house calls in Manhattan, which we could talk all day about experiences. I learned very quickly the clients who lived above a restaurant they owned were wonderful to visit about 5 p.m. And but after I decided I didn't want to be a DVM and a C of MDs at Columbia, I went to California, to Davis, to do my cardiology residency, where I was lucky enough during my residency to find that taurine deficiency was the cause and the cure by supplementing for dilated cardiomyopathy in cats. And as I'll talk about tomorrow night, a lot of that originated here with the Alumni Association and a grant that I got from them in 2nd year. That really triggered me to be primed for this finding. And probably wouldn't have happened had it not been for some of the background research I did while putting together that grant. Wow. So after my residency, which obviously, because of its implications, got me speaking around the world and dealing a lot with pet food companies, so it changed my view and direction quite a bit. But I went into a graduate program, got a lot of NIH funding, and it was during that, out of boredom, while the test tubes were incubating, that I started answering pet owner questions on what was going to be America Online. And out of that evolved Veterinary Information Network. And through, I continued teaching and research at Davis, and as Vin grew, I did specialty in mobile cardiology practice, but Vin kept sucking me in more. And eventually, in the early 2000s, that became my primary activity, and it's been a great honor to lead what's now a 53,000 member community, and just be able to get up every day and try to figure out how do we do something good for somebody. I'm not much for awards, but it's actually finished as a trilogy, so I got the Distinguished Alumnus from AMC, Davis, and now Cornell. So unless I go back to school, I guess I'm done. But it is a great honor to be recognized by your school, and to me, this is where my mentors, my veterinary parents are, and some of the gods, Dr. D and John King and others. And I'm still been very close and stay in touch with a lot of those who were very instrumental in my development. When Davis called me, and Dean Davis called me to tell me that they were giving me the award, I told them I was very confused. And I told this story at the faculty reception where they presented the award. And he said, "Why are you confused?" I said, "Because I'm not an Davis alumnus. I went to a good school, Cornell." And the faculty booed me. It's kind of a broken record with me, and that is that I think that we've got our struggles, but we're still a great profession, and the only way out of our struggles right now is to stop everybody tugging and trying to do what's best for us today, and to turn as much as we can our choices into what's best for the next generation. Because our fault or not, they've been set up with some struggles that we didn't face, and I think it's our job as their veterinary parents to do our best to help them through this.